Hey guys, I'm down on the allotment today to try and figure out what I'm going to do with these Snapdragon. For anyone that doesn't know, my name is Peggy and I'm growing a cut flower garden here on my allotment in Kanagawa Prefecture, Japan, which is just south of Tokyo in USDA Zone 9B. Thanks for checking out my channel. It's cold down here today. Doesn't look like it, lovely sunshine, but it's cold wind and windy, so I apologise for the noise. Anyway, Snapdragon. I love Snapdragon. I've had them in my garden every year. My favourites so far have been the Potomac orange ones. I really want to get some of the Potomac lavender, but I can't find them. And this year I couldn't even find the orange. So I have had to go for some mixes and some of my old favourites, which were my Ripple. I really like the raspberry Ripple ones. But last year, I had a problem with them. They stalled and I had thought it was my potting soil. There was something wrong with my potting soil and it just didn't give them the nutrition that they needed, and so they stayed tiny for a really long time, and then when I put them in, it got hot too quickly and they didn't really do anything. So I cut them back. I got a small second flush of them at the end of the season, but not as much as I wanted. But they still haven't died back. They're still here. Check them out. Okay, so here they are. I have two varieties in here. This is just a plain mix that I got, bog standard Snapdragon mix that I got at the local home centre, and the one behind are black prints. Now, the black prints have started to die off a bit now, whereas these ones are still doing really well. In fact, this one has some flower heads coming on it, which is unexpected because it is the coldest part of the year right now. But they are still green. They're looking a bit sad, but not as bad as I would expect them to. As well as that, I've got the ones that I started in the autumn. I planted these out in September, October time. Sorry, I started the seeds in September, October, and then I planted them out, I think around November, December, if I'm correct. And while they're not doing much, they're still here. So although they're small and they don't look particularly genki, they don't look massively healthy, they are still here. I'm in zone 9B. I don't really get a hard frost, so I'm not worried about these guys dying off. Also, Snapdragon can actually handle a frost. They quite like the cold. But what I've learned is, for me, in this climate, these are an early spring flower. I get these up to mix with the likes of my stock that are coming up, one of the earliest spring flowers as well. And so I've learned that I need to get these in early, and while they sit like this now, by the end of February, beginning of March, these guys will start sprouting up really quickly. What they don't like is when the heat kicks in here at the end of May, and I find it really hard to keep these going through the summer. They usually just die off completely, which is why I'm quite surprised that although these ones stopped growing in the summer, they went dormant because it was too hot, they didn't shrivel up and die back, which is what they usually do. They usually die back, so I just pull them up. So I have these ones in the ground that are getting slowly taller but not doing much. I've got these ones from last season that are starting to die back, but also some of them are putting up new flower, and I have other ones that I've seeded. Oh, look how red my nose is, it's freezing. Also, my hair looks like my dad in the 70s. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Anyhow, because I planted the little ones out, oh, windy. Because I planted the little ones out so early, I wasn't sure if they were going to survive. Also, I do get quite a lot of dieback in my garden, so I always reseed to make sure I've got things to put in any empty gaps. And that's what I did. So I have these little trays as well. This one is, it just says Snapdragon Red. This is a new variety that I'm growing for the first time this year. And this one is my raspberry Ripple, the Snap Ripples that I like. So I've seeded these and they've grown, and then they have done what they did last year, and that is they've just stopped. They've stalled. Their leaves have started to peel back, I think because of the cold, and they're just not happy in here anymore. So although these are teeny tiny, I've learned from last year that I just need to get these in the garden and hope that they survive the cold, because they've got more chance against the cold than they do of staying in this soil. Now, I did remix my soil. I did try a different brand. They just don't seem to be liking it very much. So I need to get these in the ground. My problem is, because the old ones haven't died back yet, I don't actually have anywhere to put them. So I did actually do a video reviewing all of the flowers in my garden and my spring flowers, and in that I did talk about my Snapdragon because I loved these black prints. They were a beautiful flower. They went so well with so many of the other things in my garden, and they were really my colour palette. I like the dark flowers. but they weren't perfect. They were very short, really short, and more than that, they had super thin stems. Now, I like that the leaves are also dark and the stems are black. That was really cool. But the stems were so thin, and so many of my arrangements, I used the Japanese style pin frogs, and the stems were so thin that I couldn't get them to stay in those pin frogs. They just had nothing to latch onto. So I couldn't really use them very much. So as much as I like them, they're just not very practical for my garden. So I think I'm going to pull them up. I might leave one because I do like them. This one here is looking pretty healthy. I might leave that one there, but I'm going to pull up the rest, and that'll give me a little bit of space, but not enough. So then these ones, which are just a general mix, these are still doing pretty well. And like I say, some of them are actually starting to put up flower heads. So I don't know what to do. I think honestly, I've only got 2 that are really healthy looking. Although this one at the front, which has completely died, is putting up new shoots. You can see this is where I cut this one right back, and it didn't give me any new growth, but now it's starting to. These are all nice green new stems coming from the bottom of this plant. So Snapdragon are actually a perennial flower. They should perennialize. It's just they usually don't because they can't survive the winter in most places. Quite often though, they will self-seed, so if you've got them in your garden and they're coming back year after year, you'll think, oh, that's a perennial, that's why it's coming back. It's actually that they're self-seeding, and it's the new seeds coming up every year and dying back that make it seem like it's a perennial. But in this case, because these haven't died back at all, I think these ones have a chance of actually perennializing, which is great. It's less work for me, it's less seeding. I like having Snapdragon in my garden every year. It's something that I would plant every year anyway, so I am totally okay with that. So I am going to pull out my black prints, but I'm going to keep the others, and I'm just going to trim them back a bit. Any of the heads that are looking a bit old, any of the leaves that are looking old, any of the stems that aren't looking great, I'm going to cut them back quite hard and see if I can get new growth on it now that we're starting to get into what for me is the beginning of the growing season. But that still leaves me with the problem of where am I going to plant all of my new little ones, because the black prince isn't going to leave me that much space. Right, black prince, let's be having you. Oh, but look, there's new growth in here as well. So this looks pretty dead and crispy, but actually, if you pull it away, you can see there's lots of new growth coming in at the base as well. Oh no, now I don't want to cut these ones back either. It's happening on the next one too. Okay, maybe I'll keep one of 2 or of the black prints as well, because they're small, they're not going to take up too much space. Just 1 or 2. Okay, now this has all been cut back and weeded out. It's not bad. I've got a little bit of space. I have cut these back quite hard, just back to where the new growth is coming in. This one has a lot of new growth at the bottom, but I've left some of the taller ones because this looks really healthy and nice as well. So it's got a bit of both. And then another little one over there. And then for my mix, I've left this little one that's growing just off a tiny bit of stem. This one which is slightly more bushy. And then the one at the back, which seems to be the healthiest out of them all. It's got a lot of growth around the bottom from a couple of different stems, and then some nice tall stems as well. Now right now there's not much difference between this one, which is coming off an old stalk, and this one, which is a new seedling next to it. So it'll be interesting to see the growth difference in those when they actually start to flower and when they come up. So I'm going to be planting my red Snapdragon into the spaces around here. I am going to plant them in clumps. I have done experiments in the past with pinching and propagating through water, propagating through soil, and not pinching. And I've decided not to pinch my Snapdragon. It works best for me if they are not pinched. But I do like to plant them in little clumps like this, which is how they would naturally grow. So each one of these cells has quite a few. I will probably choose the 3 or 4 strongest and cut out the rest. and then get these planted in and around this space that's left. But first, I'm going to amend the soil a little bit. I am going to be adding some well-rotted compost into this soil and rake it through before I plant these, just to make sure there's enough nutrition in the soil for the new plants. And hopefully that'll help with the fact that they've stalled a little bit. Give them a little bit of a boost when they get in there. This row is my spring flowers row. In here I have tulip, I have some muscati, I have some Spanish bluebell, I have my daffodils which are starting to come up, I have some hyacinth. These are all of my bulbs and they should come up quite early. Behind that I have my freesia. If you watched my freesia video from last week, you'll know that I'm not planning on these. I have other freesia, so this is just to see if these are going to come back, which I don't think they are. They're all dying back. And behind that is my ranunculus. My plan is that when this row finishes, this is where I will put my zinnia for the summer. But looking at it, it's almost a full row. I've got a few other things going at the end where my pansy are right now. But I think that where my ranunculus and my freesia are up to right now will be enough for the zinnia that I want to plant. So I am going to be planting the Snapdragon in between the rows of my bulbs. Now it is going to be quite tight, and I am hoping that all of the bulbs come up before the Snapdragon really take off, because the Snapdragon will get tall and will bush out and will cover everything else up. But I think because these guys are doing so well so far and these guys are still so tiny, that this hopefully will work out and be quite a nice interplanting. So this is my plan, is to go down and just plant these wherever I can in between the rows of bulbs. It's pretty tight though. So that is the garden now stocked. We've got some perennial Snapdragon, some that were planted out, started at home in September and planted out at the very beginning of winter, and then some that were planted in winter and seeded in winter and planted out now kind of mid-January. So hopefully that will give me Snapdragon very early, I'm hoping, right through to before the heat really kicks in, which is kind of mid-June, July is when these guys kind of give up all hope of living in the 40+ degree temperatures that we get here during the summer. It's going to be really interesting to see how the perennial and the earlier planted ones compare quality and quantity. You know, how big am I getting the flowers, how many flowers am I getting, and how long are they taking to give me flowers, and possibly how long are they taking to rebound once I cut the flowers back. When am I getting a second flush from them? But if I can get these to perennialize, then hopefully I can get these ones to do the same. And then I won't have to be seeding Snapdragon every year, which would be great. I'm excited to see how this goes. If you want to follow along and see how this does, then please remember to hit the subscribe button below. If you have any hints and tips, please let me know. They are always appreciated in the comments. And if you want to see what I do with all of my flowers, as well as my Snapdragon from last year, then you can check out my Instagram, which is From the Witch's Garden, and there's a link to that below here. I am going to give this garden a big water to get this all to settle in. Woo! And hopefully not blow away. And I will see you guys next week. Bye!